type of fighter that can just overwhelm you. Jaime Munguia is not a one-punch knockout artist. He is coming, just like David Benavidez, to bury you in punches. I think this is an opportunity for Munguia, who I look at it, I think is the naturally bigger fighter. I think Munguia could put on a great show if he's at his best.
Munguia, we've seen being pushed back by smaller fighters, and we've seen him hurt by guys that aren't even champions, like Spike O'Sullivan. He got rocked by O'Sullivan. He got pushed back by Inoue. Resendez is the real deal. He's a championship-level fighter that's just as big. He's naturally super middleweight. So that's the reason I think Resendez is ready for this moment. He has the Mexican style. He has a chin that hasn't been cracked. Munguia is the underdog in this one.
Chin has been cracked. He was stopped before. He lost to Elijah Garcia by knockout. He has been hit. He's gotten hit. This is what I'm saying. He's a very good fighter. But I think on paper, Jaime Munguia is a better fighter. The question to come back to is what version of Jaime Munguia are we going to get?
It may come down to not how much you could dish out, but how much you could take. Who's got the better chin in our co-main event? Also, Oscar Duarte is back. We were supposed to see him in the ring against Richardson Hitchens, who fell ill and then signed with Zuffa. Who knows what went on there? Maybe Chris has some inside information on that. However, he gets what appears on paper to be a lighter touch with Angel Ferrero, who's lost 3 of his last 4, including being disqualified in his last fight for kicking his opponent. What kind of fight do you think that's going to be?
I think that out of all the cards on this amazing card, that's probably the one where we know what the outcome is already. I think Duarte is ready for the champions. Angel Fierro is a gatekeeper. He's coming out back-to-back losses, and on this level, he's just not ready. It can be fireworks, but there's only going to be one fireman. That's Oscar Duarte. I don't expect this fight to go the distance, not even in the second half of the fight.
Yeah, I'm with you. Leave the judges at home, take a break, get some coffee, go get a drink, have some dinner. You're not going to be needed in this particular fight. These two guys are both big punchers in this 140-pound division. You're right about Fierro. He's coming off some losses there. He has not looked good as of late, but he comes to fight every single time, and so does Oscar Duarte. This is two guys that are just going to be taking steps forward all night long. And I think for Duarte, it's a doubly important fight. Now, the IBF, they ordered Teofimo Lopez to fight Lindolfo Delgado for the vacant 140-pound title vacated by Richardson Hitchens. Teofimo has elected not to pursue that path. And the IBF has not ordered a new opponent for Delgado. I was told that the IBF is waiting for the outcome of this fight. If Duarte comes out the other side of it as the winner, he is going to be ordered to fight Lindolfo Delgado for the world title. So a lot at stake for someone like Oscar Duarte.
And Oscar Duarte says he is ready. He truly believes in his abilities, believes he's the best fighter in the world in his weight class. He gets to give us a little glimpse of that here tonight. All right, guys, as we're still awaiting our ceremonial weigh-ins to begin, give me the fighter on the card who's most likely to pull off an upset tomorrow night at the T-Mobile Arena.
Resendez, for me, I don't even know if that's an upset.
He is a 2-1 favorite in that fight.
Okay, so yes. Resendez the underdog. I think that's my underdog pick.
I mean, I would say Zurdo. The odds to me are crazy against Gilberto Ramirez. Maybe he's going to lose. Maybe Benavidez does to him what he's done to so many other opponents and overwhelms him. But I'm sorry, 25 pounds is a lot, man. That's the biggest jump that you can make. Please, that's the biggest jump you can make. I'm worried about that.
All right, apparently we're starting right now. Let's go down to the stage
here in Las Vegas, Nevada, as Premier Boxing Champions presents our ceremonial weigh-in. Tomorrow night, undefeated 2-division world champion David El Monstro Benavidez and WBA and WBO Cruiserweight world champion Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez headline this very special Cinco de Mayo weekend in an all-Mexican showdown from T-Mobile Arena. It is a PBC pay-per-view event on Prime Video and DAZN.com. This event is promoted by Golden Boy Promotions and Samson Boxing in association with TGB Promotions. Sponsored by Thomas J. Henry Law, Built to Fight. VMC Tequila Cocktails, El Origen Ante Todo. Linear Protein Bar. Knock out your hunger with 20 grams organic protein that tastes like a decadent treat. And choose your fighter. Only one can win. Mortal Kombat 2 only in theaters May 8th. Now, before we get to our pay-per-view, we have a 3-fight First on Prime lineup, streaming live and free on Prime Video beginning 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Let's meet those fighters. First up, this bout will be 8 rounds in the light heavyweight division, a battle of Olympians. First up to the stage with 8 victories, 6 by knockout, representing Chota, Ecuador. He is an Ecuadorian Olympian making his U.S. debut. Please help me welcome Marlon Black Boy Delgado. And now we welcome his opponent, coming into this bout, undefeated, 14 victories, 10 by knockout, representing Barranquilla, Colombia. He is a Colombian Olympian. Please help me welcome Juan Carrillo.
Undefeated Juan Carrillo, 14-0, 10 knockouts. Big puncher from Colombian. This is how you want to see.
All right, now it's time for our fighters to step onto the scale. First up, once again, out of Ecuador, Marlon Black Boy Delgado. $177.6, 177.6 for Delgado. And now we welcome his opponent out of Colombia. Please help me welcome Juan Carrillo. 177.4, 177.4. Both men have made weight under the 178-pound weight contracted limit.
So right out of the gate, it'll be two light heavyweights squaring off.
Yeah, this has the potential to be a fun fight to open the show. Both these guys with undefeated
8
records.
rounds in the light heavyweight division. Once again, a battle of Olympians. Marlon Black Boy Delgado against Juan Carrillo.
Both these guys with big punching power and both with something to prove. A win on a card like this would be a nice springboard to another fight.
And Sergio, these Mexican crowds on Cinco de Mayo show up early and make a lot of noise. So it should be a nice little crowd for these two to fight in front of.
Absolutely. I mean, we love the mariachi. We love the music. It's a passionate crowd. Can't wait.
All right, now, ladies and gentlemen, we're ready for our next bout. This one will be 4 rounds in the super lightweight division. First up, coming to the stage, he is undefeated, 2 victories, both wins by knockout. Representing Phoenix, Arizona, here is James Pierce. And now we welcome his opponent, also undefeated, 1 victory with 1 win by knockout, no defeats. Representing Las Vegas, Nevada, here is Dylan La Amenaza Capetillo.
Dylan Capetillo fighting for the 2nd time in less than a month. The Golden Boy prospect, very excited to get an opportunity.
All right, first up onto the scale once again. Out of Phoenix, Arizona, here is James Pierce.
James Pierce, a late addition. They were looking around for opponents for Dylan Capetillo.
134.8, 134.8 for Pierce.
Added to this card this week.
And now we welcome the talented prospect, Dylan La Amenaza Capetillo. 136.2, 136.2 for Capetillo.
La Amenaza, the threat. Both these guys starting young in their career, 4-round fighters, undefeated. That 0 is very crucial to keep on your record, but someone's O has got to go.
You know, Golden Boy is excited about Capetillo, and I'll give Golden Boy credit for this. They wind up finding
4 rounds in the super
prospects,
lightweight division.
some of them who turn to pretty big
James
stars.
Pierce against Dylan La Amenaza Capetillo. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we are set for our featured bout. for first on Prime, 10 rounds in the super middleweight division. Coming to the stage with a record 16 victories, 14 by knockout, opposite of 3 defeats and 1 draw. He is representing Long Beach, California. Here is Raul Solomon. And now we welcome his opponent, coming in undefeated, 14 victories, 7 by knockout, representing Milwaukee, Wisconsin. He is the hard-hitting, talented super middleweight. Please help me welcome Daniel, the Iceman Blancas.
The Iceman, Sergio.
6'3" tall, long, strong, another big moment. And this is what you're talking about with undefeated fighters taking a big step, showing that they're ready for the next moment.
Onto the scale once again out of Long Beach, Raul Solomon. $167.4 for Solomon. And now we welcome the undefeated Daniel, the Iceman Blancas. $166.8 for Blancas.
Another big opportunity for Daniel Blancas. We saw him about a year ago fighting on the Resendez Plant undercard. Got a first-round knockout over Kwame Ritter on that card. Good-looking prospect, good power, nice set of skills, and a great opportunity here for him to show out on a card like this.
Well, you can't sleep on Raul Solomon, nicknamed Money, who has an 87% KO rate, 14 KOs in his 16 wins.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, this is our future bout for first on Prime. 10 rounds in the super middleweight division. Raul Solomon taking on Daniel, the Iceman Blancas. Those 3 bouts will be featured on First on Prime, and it all starts 5:30 p.m. Eastern Time, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Now, I will turn things over to the legendary Jimmy Lennon Jr.
Ladies and gentlemen, a very good afternoon to you y a todos mis amigos latinos. Celebrando el 5 de mayo, bienvenidos aficionados al box, al pesaje ceremonial. Well, fans, Premier Boxing Champions presents the PBC pay-per-view ceremonial weigh-in for a big night of action taking place tomorrow night at the T-Mobile Arena, and brought to you by Golden Boy Promotions and Samson Boxing in association with TGB Promotions. Well, fans, before we continue and bring up our fighters on the pay-per-view portion of our night, we have a very special guest. I'd like to bring him to the stage at this time. He is the CEO of Golden Boy Promotions. Ladies and gentlemen, the U.S. Olympic gold medalist, the 11-time world champion in 6 weight categories. Please welcome the one and only Hall of Fame legend of boxing, the Golden Boy, Oscar De La Hoya. Ladies and gentlemen, I want to bring to your attention, let's talk a little bit about pay-per-view. It is available everywhere. Amazon Prime Video pay-per-view, DAZN pay-per-view, and all traditional satellite and cable services. You can get this fight on pay-per-view anywhere you are, so enjoy it. It's a great all-Mexican showdown here coming up tomorrow night. Well, our opening pay-per-view attraction features middleweights in action in a showdown. Let's bring them to the stage at this time. First, from Campo Grande, Argentina, please welcome the man seeking his 8th straight win. Please welcome Ismael El Terrible Flores. now we invite his opponent to the stage at this time from La Paz, Baja California Sur, Mexico. Here is the undefeated super welterweight and middleweight contender, Puro Mexico, Isaac Lucero. All right, it's time to bring our fighters to the scale at this time. The official contracted weight for this fight is 157 pounds. It is for the WBA, Continental America, and the Latino WBO Championship. First to the scale, his record is 17 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw, with 12 big wins coming by way of knockout. He is making his U.S. debut. Please welcome the battle-ready Ismael El Terrible Flores.
Chris, this is a sneaky good matchup early on the card.
Yeah, it
155.2 pounds, 155.2. And now we invite his opponent to the scale, a record of 18-0 with 14 knockouts. Ladies and gentlemen, the trained by the renowned Bob Santos, the undefeated rising star, Puro Mexico, Isaac Lucero.
Isaac Lucero coming in with a 2-fight knockout streak.
155.6 pounds, 155.6.
Stopped Roberto Valenzuela his last time out. Flores, he's won 7 fights in a row since his first pro loss. The last 5 have come by knockout. Both these guys bringing a lot of power into the ring and a chance as part of this pay-per-view opener to really set the tone for the rest of this evening.
Lucero meeting a very hungry Flores, youth power and pressure colliding in this one to kick off the main card tomorrow night, T-Mobile Arena.
This is a battle you don't want to miss. It opens up our pay-per-view. Isaac Lucero, Ismael Cruz for the WBA Continental and WBO Latino Middleweight Championship.
What you think about my last fight?
And now, ladies and gentlemen, let's hear from both of the fighters. My honor to introduce and hand over the duties to my colleague, Miguel Flores.
Ismael, you are making your U.S. debut here. How do you make sure this one is a successful one?
Bueno, vas a tener tu debut acá en Estados Unidos. ¿Cómo te vas a asegurar de que sea un debut exitoso?
Será un debut, pero no será la última. Voy a salir con todo, voy a salir a ganar, es lo que he venido a hacer y seguramente me verán muchísimas más veces aquí.
It's going to be the first, but I assure you, it's not going to be the last time. You're going to see me out there, you're going to see me win, and I'm here to stay. You're going to see me plenty more times.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Ismael Flores. And now, I'll bring over Isaac. Isaac, you have had a tremendous start to your career, 18-0. What type of statement are you looking to make tomorrow night?
Qué lindo comienzo de tu carrera, ¿no? 18 victorias, ninguna derrota. ¿Qué mensaje querés enviar este sábado?
Sí, ha sido un trabajo largo, una carrera muy larga. Estoy muy contento. Este sábado, mañana vamos a salir con todo, vamos a salir con la victoria y vamos a demostrarle al mundo que merecemos una oportunidad.
Well, it's been a long journey. I've loved every minute of it. And this Saturday night, not only am I going to win, I'm going to show the world that I deserve the opportunity that I crave.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Isaac Puro Mexico Lucero. Back to Jimmy.
What a great opening fight we have in store for you tomorrow. I want to remind you that our pay-per-view begins at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 p.m. here in the Pacific. Don't miss it. A great night of boxing coming your way. We're ready to move on and bring out our second pay-per-view attraction, bring our fighters on to the stage at this time. First of all, from Cathedral City, California, the undefeated super bantamweight spark plug. Please welcome Jose Tito Sanchez.
Super bantamweight division, 122 pounds. Sergio, these guys are fast, and they're going to take off right when the opening bell rings.
And that's exactly what you want to see with the smaller weight divisions. We want volume, we want pressure. And whenever you have that zero, that 15-0 zero, you're going to want to keep it by any means necessary. Nice puncher, boxer puncher, and Jose Tito Sanchez. Another excellent matchup.
Rising star known as El Niño Dorado, Jorge Chavez.
Jorge Chavez, 16 pro fights, 15 wins, 1 draw, 7 by way of knockout. Sergio, how would you describe his fighting style?
I think he's an excellent boxer puncher, redeemed his only blemish on his career against Manuel Gucci Flores, in which he got a draw. But anytime you see a fighter come back after that draw and get the unanimous decision, that's when you know he's good and he learned from that experience.
Fighters onto the scale at this time. The weight limit on this fight is 122 pounds. It is for the WBA Continental Super Bantamweight Championship. Both of these fighters undefeated with nearly identical records. We're going to put them onto the scale, and then we're going to see them square off as they prepare to meet each other tomorrow night in our second pay-per-view attraction. First to the scale, undefeated at 15-0 with 9 knockouts. The undefeated Super Bantamweight rising star, here is Jose Tito Sanchez. Sanchez weighs in at 121.2 pounds. 121.2 for Tito Sanchez. And now his opponent, his record 15 wins, no losses, 1 draw, with 8 wins coming by way of knockout. Please welcome the undefeated Super Bantamweight rising star, Jorge El Niño Dorado Chavez. Chavez weighs in right at the super bantamweight limit of 122 pounds.
All right, Sergio, give us your prediction. Who's going to win this between 2 unbeaten young fighters?
I'm going to edge it out to Jorge Chavez. I think I like what I saw in his last fight, how he was able to, capitalize on, coming up short in the rematch. But excellent boxer puncher, throws the right punches, good footwork, doesn't smother his work. I really like his future.
And it's got to be a big thrill for them to be fighting on this holiday on the undercard of Ramirez versus
There they are,
Benavidez.
ladies and gentlemen. El Niño Dorado, Jorge Chavez versus Jose Tito Sanchez. A battle of undefeated rising stars in the super bantamweight division. Once again, Miguel Flores, now to hear from both of our fighters.
Jose, we spoke all week. You have big goals for yourself here at 122 pounds. What's going to be the key for you to stay undefeated tomorrow night?
Just winning over this fight, give the fans what they want, and I'm ready for it. You guys will see what Tito Sanchez is tomorrow night.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up for Jose Tito Sanchez. And now welcome Jorge Chavez. Jorge, you are obviously taking on Sanchez in a very tough fight. We saw you saying a few words to Jose. What were you telling him?
I just said I've been waiting a long time for this. We fought in the amateurs when we were both 18, and he took that by split decision. And ever since then, I've been having nightmares. Every day I wake up and I do what I gotta do to prepare for this moment. I knew we would face off sooner or later. This is the second guy I face out of Coachella, so let's do it.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for El Niño, Jorge Chavez.
Well, we're just about ready to bring up our next pay-per-view attraction, and we also want to let you know that there are some tickets available OSX.com. What a way to celebrate Cinco de Mayo in the fight capital of the world. There's nothing like it. Hope you can join us live because it's a great event coming your way. And at this time, we are ready to move on for our next pay-per-view attraction. Please welcome the fighters as they make their way to the stage. First of all, ladies and gentlemen, from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, the all-action world contender. Please welcome Angel Tashiro Fierro.
Fierro, loser of 3 of his last 4, but said this week, I know I'm a big underdog. I haven't been fighting well lately, but I'll give you my blood, my sweat, my everything. I'm here to spoil the party, steal the show.
And now, ladies and gentlemen, his opponent from Parral, Chihuahua, Mexico, a top contender in the lightweight division, super lightweight division. Please welcome La Migraña, Oscar Duarte.
So here comes Duarte, a big favorite here, Chris, but much more on the line for him than just another win.
Yeah, a lot on the line. Oscar Duarte is next up to fight for the vacant IBF 140-pound title. If he wins, I'm told the IBF will order Duarte to fight Lindolfo Delgado for the belt that was vacated by Richardson Hitchens.
Sergio, if Fierro brings his very best performance, can he win this fight?
No. I think Oscar Duarte is just on another level. What Fierro can do is make it messy and bloody and bring the Mexican style, but can he pull out the win? Odds are against him.
140 pounds. This is for the WBC Silver and NABO Super Lightweight Championship. First, with a record of 23 wins, 4 losses, and 2 draws, he's the all-action world contender. Once again, please welcome Angel Tashiro Fierro. Fierro weighs in 143.4, 143.4. That is over the limit for this 140-pound championship fight. And now his opponent, ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 30 wins, 2 losses, and 1 draw. 23 knockouts. He's a world contender in the super lightweight division. Here is the hard-hitting Oscar La Migraña Duarte. Oscar Duarte weighs in at 139.8 pounds, 139.8.
Fierro missing weight, Chris. What do you make of that? 3.5 pounds.
That's not missing weight. That's blowing by the weight. But I can tell you, after the experience that Oscar Duarte had last time out with Richardson Hitchens, I don't think there's any weight that Fierro was going to come in and Oscar Duarte wasn't going to say yes. But Sergio, that's a big number to miss weight by.
That's a big number. The thing about Angel Fierro, he has 6 blemishes on his career. Anytime he steps up, he falls short, and he's stepping up here against Duarte. He could be the heavier man, he could be the bigger man, but he's not going to be the favorite against a man that got the show stolen from him. In a championship fight against Hitchens, you can bet he's going to want to make a statement against Fierro.
You think he missed weight on purpose or just a lack of discipline?
I think on purpose. He wants every advantage. Absolutely.
WBC Silver and NABO Super Lightweight titles. Oscar La Migraña Duarte versus Angel Tashiro Fierro.
3.5 pounds. Whenever I hear something over 2 pounds, that tells me a guy didn't train properly. That tells me a guy
once again
isn't taking this fight as seriously as he should.
Miguel Flores, it's all you. Angel, you missed weight. First off, what happened and how will that affect tomorrow night?
Bueno, ¿qué pasó con el peso y cómo te afectará mañana por la noche?
Bueno, primero que nada pido una disculpa al público, a Oscar Duarte, a su equipo. Hicimos todo lo posible para llegar a la 140. El cuerpo no me respondió, pasamos todos los pesajes de tiempo atrás. Pero digo, estamos listos para pelear, gracias a Dios. Se da la pelea. Venimos a dar una guerra como cada vez que me subo al ring. Y yo sé que no puedo llevarme los hitos, pero estoy seguro que me voy a llevar la victoria y voy a limpiar todo.
Well, I want to apologize first of all to you, the fans, to Team Duarte, to Oscar himself. I did everything I could to try to make weight, but the body just wouldn't allow me. I passed all the preliminary weigh-ins, but this time it wasn't meant to be. But regardless, tomorrow I'm gonna go out there and try to put on a show for you guys. It's gonna be a war. You're not gonna want to miss it, and I'm gonna go for it all regardless of what happens.
Ladies and gentlemen, get up one more time for Angel Tashiro Quiero. Welcome in over, Oscar. Obviously, you have dealt with adversity early on here in 2026, and then obviously Quiero missing weight. First off, what are your thoughts on that, and does this change anything for you tomorrow night?
Bueno, Oscar, no estás teniendo suerte este año, una vez más sobreponiéndote a la adversidad. ¿Qué te genera el hecho de que Fierros haya perdido el peso y que la pelea ahora sea este sábado por la noche sin lo que iba a pasar?
No, pues yo estoy bien contento. Mira toda la gente que viene a apoyarnos. Esto es lo que a mí me motiva y pues estoy listo. Hice una gran preparación. Ya llevo 2 preparaciones que se me juntaron en esta pelea y me siento listo. Entrené muy fuerte. Vengo bien preparado y listo para darle a toda mi gente que está aquí una gran pelea y pues ya empezamos con la mano, con el pie derecho, como decimos, porque ya vencimos el primer rival, la báscula, cumplí con el peso y vengo listo para, como les digo, para darles una gran pelea.
Look, there is no time to feel down because look at everyone here. How am I not going to feel excited? I'm pumped. So thank you so much for being here, supporting me, and I promise you that tomorrow night you're going to see a spectacle. I'm going to go out there, fight for you, win, and I truly believe that I started with the right foot. 2 straight training camps. I feel great, and I'm going to show it all out there for you guys. Thank you very much.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for Oscar Duarte.
Let me tell you, Fierro could have come in looking like the Mexican Stay Puft Marshmallow Man, and I think Oscar Duarte was going to
Our
find him.
pay-per-view commences tomorrow at 8 p.m. Eastern Time. That's 5 p.m. here, the Pacific Time. And it's at the T-Mobile Arena. If you want tickets, ASX.com is where to get it. And you can join us live. And once again, pay-per-view is available just everywhere. Available at Prime Video, pay-per-view, DAZN pay-per-view, and all traditional satellite and cable services. Well, ladies and gentlemen, Premier Boxing Champions continues with our weigh-in from here at the MGM Grand Garden Arena in Las Vegas. We now present the first of our world title attractions. It is brought to you by TGB Promotions, Warriors Boxing, and Zanfer Boxing, and sponsored by Thomas J. Henry Law. Built to fight, and by VMC Tequila Cocktails, El Origen Ante Todo. Now we invite to the stage, ladies and gentlemen, first from Tijuana, Baja California, Mexico, the challenger, the former WBO junior middleweight champion of the world, Jaime Munguia.
He is back, Sergio. What do you expect from Jaime Munguia tomorrow night?
I expect the absolute best, but I mean, I want to know how much that fight with Bruno Serrat took out of him. Yes, he came back and redeemed himself, but that stays with you. Can he still have confidence in taking the big punch and coming forward with that Mexican style? That's what I want to know if he still brings to the table.
He's brought his family and friends with him here this afternoon and tomorrow. The newly crowned WBA super middleweight champion of the world, Armando El Toro Resendiz.
Chris, we last saw him in May of 2025, that upset win over Caleb Plant. He surprised us that night. Can he do it again tomorrow?
Yeah, hasn't been active since then. He's been in discussions for a couple of different fights. Jamal Charlo was out there. Edgar Berlanga was discussed as well, but has been off since that win over Caleb Plant. That was a big win for him.
To the scale. Weight limit is a very strict 168 pounds. This is for the WBA Super Middleweight Championship of the world. First, with a record of 45 wins, 2 losses, he has 35 wins coming by way of knockout. He's the popular all-action former champion of the world, introducing Jaime Munguia.
he looks good, huh?
167.4 pounds, 167.4.
Yeah, we've seen Jaime Munguia at multiple
And now,
weight
ladies and
classes.
gentlemen, his
Crazy to think he could make 154 all those years. Very big guy.
He'll be making the first defense of his title. Please welcome the reigning and the defending WBA super middleweight champion of the world, Armando El Toro Resendiz. 167 for Resendiz, 167.
So, Chris, quickly explain how he's the world champion and why this is a title fight.
Well, Armando Resendiz won the interim version of the belt last May against Caleb Plant. When Terrence Crawford retired, those belts became vacated. He was elevated to the top spot, and now he's the full champion. So great opportunity for him to defend here, but an even bigger opportunity perhaps for Jaime Munguia to prove that he is still on the world level. Been a tough couple of years for him. Had the loss to
And as
Canelo
our fighters
Alvarez.
are getting dressed and
Had
ready to
the
face off, reminding you this is our
stoppage loss to Bruno Saras. Had the
or
positive
co-main
test
event of the
after the
evening.
rematch
The first of our world
to Saras
title
was
fights,
eventually
WBA
cleared
super
of that, but now here he is
Championship of
with a chance to
world.
fight for a full world title at 168 pounds. And the question I have coming in is Jaime Munguia the high-level guy we thought he was coming up from 160 to 168 running through these weight classes, or have these wars taken their toll on him?
This is going to be maybe the best fight of the night, your co-main event. Munguia, the slight favorite.
Jaime Munguia has been the focus, but we are only 3 fights removed from Armando Resendiz getting knocked out by Elijah Garcia. 2021, he lost to Marcos Hernandez, but so he's got a lot to prove coming into this fight as well. I do think it's going to be physical. I think it's explosive, and I think either way, we're going to see this fight end in a knockout.
Sergio, they both look in tip-top condition.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen.
Excellent shape. I think both these guys are championship-level fighters. I think momentum is on the side of Resendiz, and for Resendiz to have another former champion on his resume, that's what motivates this man on this date. Wants to continue holding down these popular Mexican dates, and this will be a war that I think Resendiz is a favorite in.
Miguel Flores, it's all yours.
Jaime, we saw your excitement here. What does it mean to you to become a 2-division world champion in front of your Mexican fans?
No, la verdad es que es una gran ilusión para mí y lo vamos a lograr. La verdad estamos listos y emocionados por esta gran pelea.
I'm really excited for this opportunity. It's going to be a dream, and we're going to go out there and provide you guys a great fight.
What's your prediction tomorrow night, Jaime?
Una victoria por nocaut de Jaime Munguia.
Jaime Munguia is going to win by knockout.
Ladies and gentlemen, you heard it. Jaime Munguia. And now we'll go over to the champ, Armando. This is your first defense of that WBA super middleweight crown. What is it going to take from you to leave with the belt tomorrow night?
¿Qué es lo que vas a tener que hacer mañana para retener el cinturón y enorgullecer a tu ciudad?
Hacer mi trabajo, hacer las cosas bien, obedecer mi esquina, darlo todo arriba del ring y luchar por mi familia.
All I have to do is do my best, give it my all, listen to my corner, and fight for my family.
We asked Munguia what he predicts. He predicts a knockout. What's your prediction tomorrow night?
Munguia vaticinó un knockout. ¿Vos qué decís? ¿Predicción para mañana es?
Mi predicción es que voy a dar todo lo mejor de mí, voy a salir a dar una guerra, la gente quiere ver una guerra, yo estoy listo para eso y para más.
Well, my prediction is that I'm going to give it my all. And I'm going to give you guys a war. You want a war, right? That's what I'm going to give you.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, give it up for the champ, Armando El Toro Resendiz.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the MGM Grand Garden Arena here in Las Vegas, Nevada, Premier Boxing Champion is ready to present the weigh-in for the featured bout of the evening, brought to you by Samson Boxing and Golden Boy Promotions, and sponsored by Linear Protein Bar. Knock out your hunger with 20 grams of protein that tastes like a decadent treat. And by DraftKings Sportsbook, ahora en español, the crown is yours. And by MK2, choose your fighter, only one can win. Mortal Kombat 2, only in theaters, and that is on May the 8th. Well, fans, let's bring our fighters to the stage at this time. First of all, the defending world champion from Mazatlan, Sinaloa, Mexico. He's the two-division world champion and the current unified WBA and WBO Cruiserweight champion of the world. Please welcome Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez.
You know, Sergio, we were talking about Zurdo maybe being disrespected. When was the last time you saw the unified champion introduced first and come in second on that poster?
Yeah, that goes to show you that there's politics and popularity involved here, because normally, as the champion, that should be your stage.
And
you should be announced second.
Before we bring the challenger to the stage, my pleasure to introduce to you, now to assist us in escorting the challenger to the stage, please welcome the National High School Mariachi Champions, the Las Vegas High School Mariachi Band, introducing Hoya.
Be an all-Mexican showdown without the mariachi band making an appearance before the main event.
Mannix, were you ever in a band?
I was not in a band.
You seem like a geek that would probably play the trombone or something.
I play guitar, Sergio.
No one asked
What are you
you.
making fun of band people for? Band people got feelings.
One time at band camp,
I was about to say that.
give me a margarita.
There they are, ladies and gentlemen, Hoya. And now, ladies and gentlemen, making his way to the ring is the challenger from Phoenix, Arizona, the two-division world champion, the current unified WBC and WBA light heavyweight champion of the world, El Monstruo Mexicano, David Benavidez.
The monster, famously given that name by Mike Tyson. Sergio, it is very on point and appropriate.
Absolutely. And look, he always comes to fight. He always wants to push the pressure. He wants to go for the knockout. And that's what monsters are. I mean, we got Inoue in Japan fighting. We got the Mexican monster in Benavidez here controlling this date. That's exactly why he has that reputation, and everyone here wants to see what that reputation's made of.
He's dressed to fight right now, Chris. He's wearing his full regalia. All he needs is the hand wraps. Meanwhile, Zurdo's sitting over there in his underwear.
All right, fans, here we go. We're ready to bring our fighters to the scale for the WBA and WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Weight limit on this fight is 200 pounds even. First, we invite the champion to the scale with a record of 48 wins and 1 loss. He has 30 wins coming by way of knockout. He is the reigning and defending WBO and WBA Cruiserweight Champion of the World, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. Zurdo Ramirez weighs right in at the limit of 200 pounds.
You know, Gilberto Ramirez wasn't coming in a pound under that 200.
And
was
now,
a
ladies and gentlemen, with a record of 31
years.
wins and no losses, 25 knockouts, the undefeated challenger, the current light heavyweight champion of the world, El Monstruo Mexicano, David Benavidez. David Benavidez weighs in at 196.8 pounds. 196.8 pounds for the challenger, David Benavidez.
A lot of belts on the stage right now, but don't get it twisted. The champion as of now, the unified Cruiserweight champion, is on the right of your screen. That's Zurdo Ramirez. He has been a little disrespected and overlooked this week. Can he make David Benavidez pay?
And you can see the size advantage goes towards Gilberto Ramirez. These two guys,
Total respect between these two fighters, but they are ready to go to war. Gilberto Ramirez, Zurdo Ramirez versus David Benavidez, El Monstruo Mexicano. 12 rounds of boxing for the unified WBA and WBO Cruiserweight Championship of the World. Once again, let's hear from both of our fighters. This upcoming main event of the evening is a big one. What's on their mind? Miguel Flores, let us know.
Gilberto, I'll let you put on your t-shirt. You are the WBA, WBO Cruiserweight champion, the first ever Mexican Cruiserweight champion. You said that Benavidez is a great fighter, but you do everything better. What is going to be the key difference for you tomorrow?
I'm ready. I'm ready for whatever he brings. We're thinking about a great show, and I'm ready. That's it.
What is your final message after that face-off to David Benavidez before you step into the ring tomorrow?
Good luck. Good luck, and nos vemos mañana a ganar. Viva México, cabrones. A huevo. Vamos a hacer historia.
Ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for the champion, the WBA, WBO Cruiserweight World Champion, Gilberto Zurdo Ramirez. David, we now go to you. You are obviously have accomplished so much already in your career. You have been afraid of nobody. You're taking a big step to become a Cruiserweight World Champion. What did you take away from that final face-off with Zurdo?
Primero le quiero mandar saludos a toda la raza que vino a apoyar. Muchas gracias por todo su apoyo. Mañana nos vamos a la guerra y vamos a ganar. But no, I feel really good, man. I seen a warrior in front of me. You know, I seen Gilberto Ramirez. He's ready to go to war. I'm ready to go to war. Get your popcorn ready because this shit's about to be a movie.
This is an important fight, not only to become a champion, but this is your first time headlining on this historic Cinco de Mayo weekend. What are fans going to see in the main event?
This is going to be my best performance to date. I'm very excited for this, and I'm going to give them everything in there. I'm going in there, and I'm going to win a great victory. Well, first of all, you know what I mean, I want to tell you guys, let's do something cool. On the count of 3, I want you guys to say, Monstro! 1, 2, 3, Monstro! Hey, so when I go to work, you guys already know what time it is. That's what I want to hear you guys cheering. Thank you guys so much for the love and support. Tomorrow, man, it's going to go down.
Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give it up one more time for El Monstro Mexicano, David Benavidez.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, on behalf of the promotional team, we thank you very much for your attendance. What a great weigh-in we had, and what a great night we're going to have tomorrow night. Once again, we begin our pay-per-view, 8 p.m. Eastern Time, 5 p.m. here in the Pacific. Tickets available, ASX.com, available pay-per-view, Prime Video pay-per-view, DAZN pay-per-view, and all traditional cable and satellite service.